Calling, guys. Talk to me nice.
Welcome back to Sports Tea. Welcome back to Sports Tea.
Talk to me nice. Nice. Calling, guys. Talk to me nice. Calling, guys. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Sports Tea. Oh, it's so great to be back. Happy Monday. I know that so much has been going on. We had the March Madness games, really just some incredible basketball over the weekend. We also had the Lakers play Oklahoma City Thunder yesterday. There was the Bucks that have been on a win streak. There's also the Warriors who suffered a very embarrassing loss. I have to say, Steph Curry and Draymond Green combining for 5 points is just laughable, and, them getting up there at the press conference when they were speaking on Ime Udoka and Steph's interaction, and you see them laughing. I just couldn't believe it, and, I get it. Steph Curry is a four-time champion, Draymond's a four-time champion. They have, just a lot of cachet and clout in the sports world, but my gosh, have a little bit more pride in your game. Uh, as soon as I'm ready to crown Steph Curry the greatest in this generation, he does something like this. He shoots literally like 0% from the floor. And again, this is a make or miss league. We're playing accidental basketball, as Kobe Bryant would say. And these are the kind of results you're going to get when you're playing a dangerous game like just shooting 3-point shots. So, yeah, that was an utterly disappointing game. I really and truly very disappointed in the Warriors for that performance. Draymond Green and Steph Curry ought to be ashamed of themselves. But we have two topics tonight. We're going to talk about the Lakers and OKC, and we're also going to talk about Nikola Jokic. And I'm just wondering, what is the story with Nikola Jokic and those fans? I mean, Jokic reminds me sort of like Caitlin Clark. He doesn't perpetuate the narratives that his fans actually are pushing forward, that Jamal Murray sucks and, his teammates are awful and he's just the greatest thing. But anyhow, we're going to jump right into this Lakers game. Let's see who's all here in the chat with us tonight. I see LaAaron 9817, Jen G. Happy Monday to you as well. Horizon Vibes. I see Man Down Sports. Salute to you, Mel. Physical defense does it every time. It's just about if the refs will allow it. I couldn't agree more. This game is definitely an interesting one. The question is, right, like, what does this game tell us? Does it say anything about the Lakers? And, does it say more about Oklahoma City Thunder? So we're going to get into that. And I look forward to everything that you guys are going to share and drop in the chat. Juan Manuel, salute to you. Wise Guy 23. Salute to everybody who's joining the stream. As you guys load into the room, do me a favor and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and most importantly, share the video. Share it on your social media, spread the word about Sports Tea. Tell a friend who will tell a friend, tell a family member. If you're liking the content, spread the word, and let's build this community and let's grow it to be much bigger. Alrighty, so let's just jump into this Lakers game. As we can see when we take a look at the team stats, Luka Doncic, he outscored everybody on the floor, 30 points. He was 11 of 20 from the floor. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 26 points. He led his team to this loss. There are some really interesting things when you take a look at the team stats. I don't know if you guys see this, but immediately before we even look into the team stats, you can see that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shot 0 free throws. That should be very telling about this game. I think that says a lot. A lot of people are giving the Lakers credit for not letting SGA get to the line, which I think is laughable given their defensive, I would say, lack there of defensive schemes. So when we take a look at what the teams did, Oklahoma City, they shot more field goals, they made less. Period. When you take a look at their field goal percentage, they only made 43%, the Lakers 54. The Lakers shot 43-point shots and they made 22 of them. They shot the lights out of the Thunder. The Thunder only made 12 of their 37 threes. And I mean, they are not, so they might take threes in volume, but the Thunder don't necessarily, they're not known, and I don't consider them being known for high volume threes and actually making a ton of threes. I would say, I'm not going to say that they're terrible from the 3-point line. I'm just going to say that SGA is not considered a 3-point shooter. So your star player not being dominant in 3-point shooting is not an issue to me. It's just he's not a volume 3-point shooter. So I to me, the Thunder cannot stand for that if SGA is just not, he's not lighting it up from 3. So you take a look at that alone, that's where the Lakers won this game. And their 3-point percent, they shot 55% from 3. They made more of their free throws, although they both shot poorly from free throw land, 75% for the Thunder and 70% for the Lakers. And they had a bit of a differential. They got to the line 5 more times. The Lakers also rebounded the ball better, which they typically don't do better than any other team. Offensive rebounds, the Thunder out rebounded them there, but the Lakers killed the Thunder on the glass, which is really interesting to me, given that the Thunder actually box out and they play both ends of the floor. The Lakers were also able to assist the ball better. They had less steals, but they had some timely steals. LeBron had a steal that was really good. He just ran open court and dunked the ball. Uh, the Thunder had some blocks, but the Lakers turned the ball over 17 times, which I thought was really just a gem in this game. And you would think that the Thunder would be able to exploit those 17 turnovers. The Thunder took much better care of the ball. They only turned the ball over 7 times. And the Lakers conceded 22 points off their turnovers. So what that tells you guys is the Thunder could not do the most with the possessions that they had. They shot poorly from the floor, 39 of 90 field goals. They could not hit shots from anywhere. It was almost as if like there was some sort of force making them miss. It felt like they could not buy a shot. If they paid someone, they were not going to make it. So when you take a look at that alone, this game, the Thunder should have been able to win this game. When you take a look at the turnovers that the Lakers had, but when you see the amount of shot making, the amount of threes that they were able to hit, it was just really hard for them to combat that, and it was pretty much a blowout right there in the first quarter. So that's what lost them this game. We can go through the box score. You take a look at what the Lakers did individually. Everybody showed up to play, but it was Luka Doncic who he hit, I think it was like literally 5 3-pointers in the first quarter, or maybe 6 or 7 of them. I know that the Lakers definitely shot the lights out first quarter. They hit about 11 3-pointers from what I saw. The bench, you had Dorian Finney-Smith, who actually scored a decent amount of points this game. He came through with 14. You had Gabe Vincent with 12. He had a nice corner 3 assisted by Luka Doncic, just behind over his head, but behind the back pass. It looked very clean. It looked very Luka special, what people like to see Luka doing. So great passing by Luka Doncic right in that first quarter, and really great shots that they made. The Lakers, I would like to call this accidental scoring, accidental winning. Blowouts in the first quarter can happen in this league when you're taking volume 3-pointers. And, Luka, that is his strategy. He comes out very, very aggressive in the first quarter. And if he can beat you in the first quarter, you're in trouble. You're likely not going to come back from that, but he is likely to get tired in the second half. So, really stopping Luka Doncic in the first quarter, the second quarter, that is critical for teams headed into this postseason if they want to win. They are going to have to blow the Lakers out in the first quarter because the Lakers are going to be given the advantage of the whistle. Luka Doncic is gonna be able to do whatever he wants. If he wants to offensive foul, if he wants to, foul defensively because he can't slide and get to his spot quick enough, it he's going to be favored. So teams have to get ready for that and be ready to blow them out. They've gotta win games by 10 plus points in order to beat the Lakers come the postseason. Let's take a look at what the Thunder did. Chet Holmgren, just 10 points. Jalen Williams, 16 points. Isaiah Hartenstein, 25 minutes on the floor, 8 points, but he didn't get to the line. I mean, Jalen Williams was the only person on the floor that was really respected at the free throw line. There was clearly the Thunder had no respect from the refs in this game, and it is a little bit concerning. I don't remember the last time I didn't see SGA get to the line. He took 23 shots. Out of 23 shots, not one of them was a foul. He does a push off to get to his mid range. So there's no way that he could draw contact enough to get a foul throughout the whole game. So that should tell you guys what we're up against in the postseason. Teams are going to have to play uphill against the Lakers. Luka Doncic, he's part of the FNBA, one of the leaders of the FNBA. He's going to have that FNBA protection. So get ready because teams are not going to be able to play their normal defensive game against the Lakers. And OKC, that is what happened to them last season when they played the Mavericks, when they played Luka. The Mavericks and Luka were given the whistle. They were given the whistle all the way through that postseason into the finals. And it was funny because I was chatting about this with Mel, and salute to Man Down Sports. We were talking about it. The the referees and the officiating, they were willing to do this to OKC last season. So to see this happen in this game where he's given literally 0 free throws, it's very telling. That should tell us that teams are gonna have to play uphill for sure, for certain, against the Lakers this season. Let's just take a look at this first quarter. You can see with your own eyes that it was just a blowout right then and there, and OKC wasn't gonna be able to come back from this. OKC only hit 4 3-pointers in that first quarter. The Lakers hit literally 11. You see it all right here. All those shots, like anywhere from 5 or 7 of them were Luka Doncic's threes. They just lit up the court, and it was way too much for OKC to combat in that in right there in that first half. So I'm curious to know from you guys what did this game prove about Oklahoma City Thunder? Uh Look, to me, when you are playing against Luka Doncic and OKC played him last season in the postseason, played against the Mavericks, they saw that he was being favored by the whistle. So I thought that they should have come out in this game way more aggressive. To me, they didn't look ready and prepared to win. I just They needed to blow them out, and I don't understand why they didn't come out with that energy. It makes me feel like the OKC, that they are just their experience and lack thereof is something that is going to haunt them through the postseason. And what's funny is that prior to this game, Marcus Morris was on First Take with Stephen A. and Kendrick Perkins, and he was completely disrespecting the Thunder. And this is before the game. So, headed into the game, they were talking about this matchup, and it was just, it's assumed that the Lakers can take OKC and that this is a team that can be had at any time. So, I want to play for you the sound from Marcus Morris. I thought it was really interesting, and we'll react.
Get a good one on this one, Abe. All right.
Has a way better supporting game.
Is on fire right now. He's on fire, and let's not forget they still got James Harden.
Are you telling me you willing to bet your money to come?
I'm willing to bet it. I'm willing to.
Okay, guys. Complete disrespect of OKC. And what's funny to me is that the players in the league, they want to sit here and say that people have all of these non-basketball takes, they're not celebrating the league properly. I mean, at what point do you celebrate the teams that win? At what point do you give a little bit of respect to the guys that have been dominating in the regular season and not cheating the game? To me, what what Marcus Morris's comments highlight is really just the fact that these players are cheating the game and they're cheating the fans every single night. It's basically the regular season is fake, is what he's trying to say, because the postseason comes into play and it's a totally different story. Why is it a totally different story? I'm not saying that the competition shouldn't increase. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be like a grittier game come postseason. It's just, it shouldn't be that you don't respect the team that has been winning all season long. It shouldn't be that it's fake news, whoever the first seed is. It shouldn't be that way, but it is. That's the kind of league that we're taking a look at, a league where guys take nights off and they decide that they're going to throw games, point shave, or just flat out not put their best on the floor because, this game didn't matter. F the fans. We don't matter. The fact that we are paying to come and see them play, to put on a show, to be competitive, that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what they want to do. F everything else. F the job that they signed up to do. And it's just really disappointing to me when you have an NBA player in the league saying that, nobody respects this particular team. Yeah, they're winning, but we don't respect them. I think that that's a problem. And how is the media supposed to celebrate the NBA when the players speak about the league in this way? He even sat there and told Kendrick Perkins that in his big old age, in his fat old weight, that he's able to average 40 in this league. That in today's league, he can just average 40. This is a league that he plays in. This is a league that him and his brother currently play in. So how is it that Kendrick Perkins, in that big old weight, in that big old age, can average 40? He's saying that the league is a joke. How are we supposed to respect the league when you have players who are disrespecting their own league? So it's like it's okay for them to say it, but it's not okay for us to say it. We're just haters. The media is just being negative. Look at how they disrespect themselves. They don't have any respect for their own league, for their sport. We've given them the keys, and look at what they've done with the castle. We've given them the keys to the kingdom, and they've just completely ruined it. Look how they represent themselves and the league. JJ Redick had some comments about Luka Doncic's performance in this game. I thought that it was interesting what he said as well. I'll play it. It's very short.
Sometimes great players can get bored with that process. And so when you get like the fully engaged star in a big time game, some special things can happen. And Luka did some special things tonight. We were running a smash, and it was not the first option, but just the way they covered it. Very clear that Gabe was open, and I was like, hit the smash. And he dribbled into the paint and then threw it behind his head. And St. Gina was like, oh, he sees it. You don't need to tell him.
And this is a really big loss for the Thunder.
So JJ Redick, basically, he's sort of making excuses, right, for why Luka Doncic is up and down. So this season he's been inconsistent since he's joined the Lakers. It's been inconsistent performances. Him and LeBron, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I mean, even in this game, LeBron James was basically non-existent. They did not need him for the win. He could have sat on the bench. He could have been, I don't know, on the tarmac somewhere. it wouldn't have mattered. He was pretty much just trying to get to his points. He was trying to get to 20. You see him in the second half just trying to make a push. The game had already been pretty much one-handedly, and he was still on the floor in the third and fourth quarter in a blowout win. Just trying to get to his points because Luka, he dominated the game and there was nothing really left for LeBron on the floor. Austin Reeves, he's going to get his now. I think he's the real second option on the floor, not LeBron. I think that when LeBron is not playing, Austin Reeves is truly unleashed and unlocked, and he's decided that he is not going to sacrifice his points, his stats. He's going to get his on the floor no matter if Luka's playing, if LeBron's playing. He's committed. He's locked into his offensive prowess and just being aggressive in that space. So, again, salute to Austin Reeves. A good offensive, solid, serviceable player on the Lakers. Can't guard a parked car, but you know, he's able to score the ball. So salute to Austin Reeves. What JJ Redick said, I think, is stupid. Okay. He basically says that Luka Doncic, he's such a great player that he gets bored on the floor. He gets bored. How could you possibly be bored as an NBA player? You should be constantly working on your game. You should be constantly in the gym. As a professional athlete, you should never be bored because you're constantly needing to work on something, whether it's practicing with your teammates, whether it's knowing, you know, your role on the floor, your plays, it just being super prepared, being in shape, getting in the gym, conditioning, being in game playing shape at all times, working on your shot, just working on your game every day, night in and night out. That's really what it's about. And for JJ Redick to say that he's bored and that he's bored on the floor, he hasn't been playing well this season. So there's not a moment that he should be bored. Okay. And when you look like this, when you look like a lard ass, you should not be bored. You shouldn't be bored when you're not playing. You shouldn't be bored when you are playing. You should be running the floor every moment. Bored? He was bored during some of those blowout games that they played this season. He was bored in some of these embarrassing losses that he's had right next to LeBron James. Bored? He was bored. What if he was so bored, then why wasn't he playing defense? Unbored, don't be boring, Luka Doncic. There's plenty to do. You should never be bored on the floor. Go out there and defend. When you don't have the ball in your hands, defend. When you don't have the ball in your hands on offense, move. Move around, cut. But I guess, you know, he's too bored to do those things, I guess. I don't know. Very interesting. Very, very telling. I mean, so what do you guys think? What did this game prove about OKC? Did it prove anything at all? I'll read some comments. A super chat came through. Christian Woods. What's up, Sports Tea? Talk to me nice. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Salute to you, Christian Woods. I really appreciate the $5 super chat. Talk to me nice. I love it. Mel from Man Down Sports. It just proves that the NBA felt this game needed to go to the Lakers for some reason. A message was sent. I just don't know what the message is. I think the message is, hey, you think you're going to come and play your game come postseason, but we're here to tell you you're going to be playing uphill. So just know from now, you're going to be playing uphill. And I think that the Oklahoma City Thunder already knew that, and they showed up and they were not prepared. So now they know they're going to be playing uphill. They're going to have to play against the Lakers and the refs. They're going to be treated. They're not going to be given the whistle. They're not. SGA is not going to get to the line. That's what they have to look forward to. A very difficult postseason, but they're going to have to come in prepared. They just are. They're going to have to beat the Lakers. They're going to have to make it difficult for them. They're going to have to defend the perimeter much better than they did. They didn't do a good job of defending the perimeter. 11 threes in the first quarter. Oklahoma City Thunder gave up more points than they ever have all season in a half. The Lakers shot a record-breaking amount of threes for their franchise. The Lakers are not a good three-point shooting team. So to me, this is accidental scoring because we know come postseason, they're not going to hit all these threes. They're not going to hit 11 threes in the postseason. Luka Doncic can get hot from three, but the truth of the matter is come postseason, we know he's going to be tired. We know he's going to be out of breath. We know he can't defend. So he's going to expend all his calories on offense, and then he's going to be hunted on defense. So to me, this game, okay, it exposed it did expose OKC, but it exposed them for not being ready to play uphill. It didn't expose them for having holes in their offense or their defense. That's not really what I saw. What I saw was that they could not battle against what they knew that they had to do was to play uphill. So it does prove, to Mel from Man Down Sports' point, it proves that they're going to have to play uphill. It proves that the officials are going to be helping the Lakers through the postseason, and there's a chance that they could go to the Western Conference Finals or even the finals. So guys, get yourselves ready, fasten your seatbelts. This is going to be a very interesting ride come postseason. I am going to be right here covering these games and very excited, looking forward to the playoffs because there's going to be drama. There's going to be storylines, right? And I think this is going to be one of them. How the refs, how the NBA is cheating for the Lakers, how they plan to, force feed them down our throats on national television, how they plan essentially to orchestrate another title run potentially for LeBron James and Luka Doncic. So you have the quote unquote face of the league, the king at 40 years old playing with the leader of the FNBA that can't defend, that shows up to the NBA with a dad bod. This is basically the storyline that we're headed into the playoffs with. So really exciting stuff. It looks like we have another super chat that just came through from Bookmark. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Do they do any conditioning anymore? Luka could be a lot sharper and faster. Why not be the very best you can be for millions? I just think that when guys are not told that they have to be in shape, when they're given these millions and they're just allowed to show up to the NBA with a dad bod, that's why they're not going to condition. They don't have to. Luka Doncic has been smoking, hookah and drinking beer and Smirnoff vodka since Godzilla was a baby. This isn't anything new. He's been doing it. And when you can do that and show up and drop 30 on guys and come in and dominate, why wouldn't you continue doing it? So he's been able to dominate the league with this body type. He's been able to dominate the league just not conditioning. So why not? Why not? Why does he have to stay in shape when James Harden can show up like that and dominate the league? Nikola Jokic has a dad bod. He's not very athletic. He can't even run, jump, or dunk the basketball. But he's dropping 41, 60-point triple doubles. This is what's happening. They're comparing him to Shaq and to Wilt Chamberlain. So it's really a testament of where the league is. I call it the state of the union. So every time I talk about the NBA and how it's being played, the lack thereof of defense, the way, the style of play, the three-point shots, the layup lines, I call it the state of the union. But anyhow, because of that, because of the place that this game is in, that's why players like Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, and even low-skilled players such as a Giannis Antetokounmpo, if you work hard, if you just show up and have good time and attendance, you can get stats. All you have to do is just play 65-plus games, and the game is there. The stats are there for you to take. You just have to be willing to participate. And today's players, they're deciding, okay, well, I'm going to make this much money. Okay. I want to make the most amount of money for doing the least amount of work. So these players today are pretty much nothing more than paycheck slaves. They're never the owner. They're always still the worker, but they're in golden handcuffs. So they're shackles of these millions of dollars that they're getting paid by the owners. And it's still not even close to what the owners are making, but it's a lot of money to them, right? So let me just do the bare minimum to collect these paychecks and to collect as much money as I can make. Hey, I might never win a title, but I can make X amount of dollars. I mean, look at Damian Lillard, no title, pretty much going out sad on the Bucks. I don't think that he looks like a top 75 player yet. I think he's made almost $500 million in the NBA, if not more. So, and I'm not talking about his shoe deals. I'm talking about just his NBA contracts. So there is really no value anymore in winning a title. There's no value in winning regular season games or being an all-star or making an all-defensive team or being a defensive player of the year. There's no glory in that. It's about the paycheck. It's about, I think, doing the bare minimum, as little as you can, to earn those paychecks, to play the longest that you can play, the least amount of wear and tear that you can put on your body in order to earn those paychecks and get the highest amount for the longest amount of time that you can. That's the name of the game. It's all about longevity, right? So it's all about longevity. That's what they're calling it now. It's just basically a way to sort of scam the NBA and the system, sort of like the way welfare recipients do. That's how I look at these NBA players. I look at them almost like damn near welfare recipients. That is what Ben Simmons is. He's basically just stealing money. And look, I don't blame him. These owners have been making money hand over fist for years, exploiting NBA players, taking advantage. So this is the place that the NBA is in. They're in a tug of war because the players now have the owners by the necks. They have the power. They can report them for antitrust violations. That's not happening because the checks keep rolling in. But that's where we're at. So, what else do you guys think? And thank you, Bookmark, for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate it. Good comment. Bradley Beal is definitely stealing money. I mean, he came up big time. I mean, you play for the Wizards, a no market team. I'm not even going to call it a small market team. I'm just going to call it a no market team. And he was going off. Really, he was considered a really good scorer. The Phoenix Suns trade for him. He gets on a bigger stage, a more visible team, and completely shits the bed. Bradley Beal completely shit the bed in that playoff run with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. He was awful in that sweep. Anthony Edwards, he torched them. And it was so amazing because it's just kind of like, get out of my way. It's my time. I would love to see Anthony Edwards ascend. They keep, they're making it really hard for him. There's a lot of negative stories out there about him. He's come out saying he doesn't want to be the face of the league, blah, blah, blah. So who knows what's going to happen? But I mean, the face of the league is not going to be John Morant either. All this playing around with guns that he's doing, I don't understand it, right? Lots of shenanigans happening in the NBA. Bradley Beal is definitely a fraud. Horizon Vibes, I'm with you on that. Fake ass James Harden. I mean, James Harden is a fake ass James Harden. I mean, James Harden is not even James Harden anymore. And I don't care that he's playing better with the Clippers. I think that that's fake news. When you take a look at a guy that shows up like this to the NBA, this is a disgrace. This is a disgrace. James Harden. And right now they have the nerve to be comparing him to Dwayne Wade, and I'm going to get into that probably tomorrow. But really, James Harden, look at this. Absolute disgrace. How do guys show like you have no pride in what you do. You have no pride in being an NBA player to show up to the league looking like this. Seriously, guys. But I we talked a lot about what this game proves about OKC. I mean, we I don't believe that the Lakers, as constructed, should be making the finals, but anything is possible with the way that the NBA is moving right now. And the fact that SGA could get no free throws for the entire game, it shows that the NBA is up to something. And so I think that something is trying to see if it's believable for the Lakers to go to the finals and if they're really going to make that push to cheat all the way through the finals for the Lakers. So I think that that game proved that NBA is up to something. NBA is not playing around. They want the ratings back. They want to do something, even if it's forced. So more to come on that. I want to also point out that it wasn't just OKC that lost yesterday. The Denver Nuggets lost. They lost to the Pacers. I call them the pitiful Pacers. I don't think they're that great of a team, but they play good basketball often. And the East Coast, I think, is just playing good basketball this season. And they've been a problem for teams on the West Coast. So I do want to take a moment and move on from the Lakers versus OKC. And I want to shift our focus to Nikola Jokic. And really, this is not about the Pacers game. This is not about this specific loss. This is more about the Denver Nuggets and the team that they have that's still has team members that Nikola Jokic won a title with. You have Aaron Gordon, you have Jamal Murray, you have players that, you still have core players from that title winning team. And Nikola Jokic hasn't been back to the finals since that year. And it begs the question, like, why do we celebrate Nikola Jokic so much? We celebrate him more than Giannis, who also went to the finals one time, has not been back, but we just like kind of forget about everything that he does as a two-way player. And I mean, Giannis plays both ends of the floor. I think that he should be recognized, and I think that he should be the leader of the FNBA, not Nikola Jokic, not Luka Doncic. He is the only FNBA player playing both offense and defense. Look, and I know SGA plays offense and defense. It's just Canadian players, they're kind of not so much considered FNBA players. They are technically, but again, I think that Giannis, he is the foreign player in the league that I think should be recognized. I don't think it should be Nikola Jokic. And I think that there's a lot of complexion protection that surrounds Jokic. And there's this sort of force field around him, sort of like the Caitlin Clark fans. He's not perpetuating any of these narratives. I've never seen him post game say he didn't have enough help. I've never seen him blame his teammates. Never. I've never seen him do it even in a passive aggressive way where a reporter is just like, hey, Russell Westbrook turned the ball over 11 times. How do you feel about that? And he's just like, well, he never gives those LeBron-like answers, throwing his teammates under the bus and, just blaming. He doesn't do that. I like Nikola Jokic and his personality. I mean, he doesn't really have much of a personality. He just wants to do his job and go back home to Serbia when he can in the off season. And clearly he wants to drink beer and eat poorly as well, given the dad bod that he has. But besides that, I don't think that he perpetuates some of the narratives that we see Nikola Jokic fans perpetuating. And a lot of these fans are the same people who say that LeBron James is needing help and crying for help all the time. Or a lot of these people are also even just blaming his teammates at every turn. Nobody's good enough alongside Jokic. He needs more help. They praise his performances in a loss. I mean, this 41 point, 15 rebounds, 13 assists. Yes, that's a triple double. Sounds like a great stat line, right? I mean, it's not bad, but they just lost the last 4 games. They just lost to the Pacers. Why? Oh, he didn't have this, he didn't have that. He should still be putting up, like, that stat line should have led to a win. They didn't get blown off the floor. They lost by, I think, 5 or 6 points. Jokic should still be leading his teams to a win. That should be the expectation, especially since we're comparing him to Wilt Chamberlain. We're saying he's the best player in the league. We're saying that he's one of the greatest players that ever lived. We're saying he's better than Shaquille O'Neal. That's what we're saying about Nikola Jokic, yet he's not held to some of the standards that we hold LeBron James to. We come in here and cook LeBron James for stat padding. And Nikola Jokic will be on the floor in a blowout loss in the fourth quarter at the end to get to his triple-double. And nobody says anything about it. And I just think that no one says anything about it because Nikola Jokic is quiet. He doesn't have the big mouth that LeBron James has. But so what? Let's keep the same energy. And I'm just wondering why Jokic fans don't do that. What is it about Nikola Jokic that makes him exempt from criticism, that makes him exempt from being accountable for the team's losses as the captain of the team and the leader of that team? Why is it always Jamal Murray's fault? Why is it always Michael Porter Jr.'s fault? Why is it always Aaron Gordon's fault? Those 4 guys were on they won a title together. So why isn't that enough pieces right there? You have core members of your championship title winning team that are still there with you. Why do the Nuggets lose to pitiful teams? Why? They lost to the Warriors with Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler were guarding Jokic. Why? How does that work? Like, how is that possible? How could Jokic be considered one of the best players in the league and he can be stopped by Jimmy Butler and and Draymond Green? Draymond Green is 6'6". Jimmy Butler is a midget in comparison to Nikola Jokic. So where is the criticism? Why is Jokic being touted as the best player in the league? Because of these triple-double stat lines. He's a center bringing the ball down the court. In the 90s or even early 2000s, he would be stripped. His slow ass would not be able to bring the ball down the court. I'm just trying to figure out, what is it? Is it Nikola Jokic's complexion? Why is he so protected in the media? After every loss, they're celebrating him. There's no criticism. No criticism for losing the game. No criticism for stat padding. None of that. Why? Why can't Jokic fans keep the same energy? What's the story with that? Let's see. So it looks like we have some detractors in the chat, which I'm happy to read some comments from. Let's see. William Wright, salute to you. Ben Simmons, as always, been a soft player to me, and he gave that playoff series away when he was on the Sixers versus the Hawks. The one season passing the ball instead of trying to score. I mean, that's been the story of his life, passing the ball instead of trying to score. The face of the league is going to be Shannon Sharp. You guys are so funny. James Harden, he ate his way out of Houston and he never worked the weight off. Rick Ross, facts. He did look like Rick Ross in those pictures. I think Harden is depressed. Perhaps. I mean, he's always in the strip club. I can't imagine that. I don't know. I think that sometimes when you have all of this money and you perhaps don't have anyone to share it with, you're living this fast life in the strip clubs, throwing money fast, hanging out with rappers and things like that. It can get lonely, I'm sure. So perhaps he is depressed. Yeah, James Harden is the fake James Harden. Like, seriously, he's not. I just feel like he's a shell of himself. Ben Simmons is a thief. He's wearing a costume. I don't think that Ben Simmons likes basketball. I think that he likes jewelry. I think he likes clothing. I think he likes fashion shows, but he's not a basketball player. He is a quitter. He quit even going back to when he played for LSU. That's why Shaq doesn't respect him. He never did. If I had to play with Embiid, shit, I'd be depressed too, but seriously, he needs help. The last time the Fakers were in the finals, their ratings were poop. OKC will be fine. I mean, look, I have been saying it and saying it and saying it over and over again that the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Cleveland Cavaliers, these are two teams, even the New York Knicks, these are teams that need to prove that they can get out of the second round, and we have not seen them get out of the second round. So I have no reason to believe, other than the regular season performance of the Oklahoma City Thunder, that they're capable of getting to the Western Conference Finals. And I just don't know that they are capable of doing that. I would like to say that they are, because they are the number one team in the league. They have the best record in the league. They don't just have the best record in the West. They have the best record in the league. So they should be able to make the finals. They are number one. They have the number one rated offense and defense. So they should be able to get to the finals. But we all know that the postseason is about matchups. Even the regular season, there's 82 games, and you might face a team just, anywhere from 2 times to 4 times in a season. And that's not enough of a sample size to say, hey, you're going to be able to beat this team in a 7-game series. So I will believe in OKC once I see them get to the Western Conference Finals. If they can do that, then I'm like, okay, well, they have a chance to make it to the finals. But until they get out of the second round, I just think that they're not, for me, they're just still, I still don't necessarily believe. I believe that they deserve, but I'm not sure, I don't have confidence in them making it there. And it is their lack of experience. It is what I saw last year in the postseason. It's even what I saw against the Lakers, because they still are not recognizing that they need to blow certain teams out in order to advance. And so this isn't the postseason. Hopefully they understand and they're aware that they're going to be playing uphill, and they're going to have to blow them out by 10 plus points per game in order to create some separation, in order to move past them. Cheating for the Fakers will only make the NBA worse. Silver is a disgrace. I don't remember Stern pitching 40-year-old Jordan like this. They didn't have to, because players and fans were just happy to see Jordan come back to the league. That's what people wanted. People are waiting and hoping and wishing and praying for LeBron James to retire. Hey, Frankie Fernandez, salute to you and salute to Guam. Welcome in. Guys, if you haven't liked the video, please do me a favor and smash the like button. Let's see where we're at with likes, actually. I'm going to check them right now. So we have 88 people watching. We have about 52 likes. Let's jump those up. Let's get to 75 likes. If the Lakers happen to make the finals, are they really besting the juggernaut Celtics? Can we be honest? I don't think that they're going to beat the Celtics, but I do think that the referees, they're going to cheat for the Lakers no matter who they play. If the Lakers make the finals, they're going to try to get LeBron a 5th ring. They're going to try to get Luka Doncic his 1st ring. If they face the Celtics are going to have to blow them out. They're going to hunt Luka all day. They're going to annoy him. They're going to tire him out. No, I don't think that they're going to win, but the Celtics are going to have to work really hard to beat them, for sure. They are trying to get LeBron a parting ring. I don't know if they're trying to get LeBron a parting ring. I think that what they want to do with NBA Europe, I think that pushing the foreign players and making them the face of the league and getting them titles and putting them on big market teams like Luka going to the Lakers, I think that that is more of a priority than LeBron. I think even the NBA is a little bit tired of LeBron. They probably have some LeBron James fatigue at this point. And I believe that they would want to move on from him at this point. That's my belief. So I don't think that they need to get LeBron a parting ring. Just getting LeBron to the finals is enough. That's what they've done pretty much for his whole career. Him winning titles wasn't a priority for them. It was just getting him to the finals because they were looking for those ratings. LeBron James having the deepest playoff run that he could possibly have is what's best and what's good for the NBA. So it's not just what's good for the Lakers, but it's also best for the NBA for LeBron James to be in the finals every season if they could do it, because people are going to watch and there's going to be storylines surrounding that, and there's going to be more clicks and views on social media. So that's why I think that they would want to push him there. But him getting the rings are not actually all that important. They know they don't even want him, I think, to get the rings. They don't want him to surpass Jordan. I really believe that. I don't think even Adam Silver wants that. Brother Juma, it shows the NBA is desperate and delusional to think SGA never seeing the foul line is believable. Absolutely. I mean, it's scripted, right? The NBA is rigged. They're showing us that at every turn. Let's see. We got another 9.99 super chat from Be Nice. Thank you and salute to you. The Lakers better hope their leader Austin Reeves stays healthy for the playoffs. I am weak. Their leader Austin Reeves. How can somebody be a leader of the team and they don't defend? Austin Reeves cannot guard a parked car. He can't guard anybody. Leader of the team? Where? You guys crack me up. Ugh. Jokic is their great white hope. Facts. Giannis doesn't get credit for playing a two-way player on elite level. Horizon vibes. I can't stand that dude and his annoying ass voice. Complexion protection. R.I.P. Paul Mooney. I love me some Mooney. Remember when Dave Chappelle would have him on the show? I love those scenes so much. And R.I.P. Paul Mooney, salute to you. Luka has already shown he can torch the league at any weight. He's never needed speed or athleticism to torch the league. And again, that is the problem with today's NBA. That is 100% the issue. If you don't need speed or athleticism, there's something wrong with the league. That means it's not good. That means the product that they're putting out and the talent and the competitiveness is not there. If you don't need speed and athleticism, that doesn't even make sense. You have 94 feet of the court. You got to be able to move. Sounds like pure hate, if you ask me. Pure hate of what? This is just my opinion. So I don't hate anybody. I just come in here and I talk about sports, and I bring this community, the Sports Tea community, together to talk about sports. And look, if you don't like the opinions or you don't like the takes, you can feel free to listen and enjoy the show, or find a channel that you do like. Find a channel that, the content you feel is positive, because I want to spread positive vibes, bring people together. That's what sports are meant to do. So we don't hate on this channel. We just give our opinion and we tell the truth. So Black, I can help you find a channel that you find, is better for you. I really can do that. So let me do that. Let me help you. Okay. Have a good night, Black. Paul Mooney has mad quotes. Love Paul Mooney. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I didn't see Black sooner. I don't always catch them as early as you guys do. Most journalists seem afraid to point out the truth. I agree. I mean, it's not easy to point out the truth, especially when you work for major networks or, media platforms. There's an agenda, and sometimes you're charged with pushing an agenda. It's not easy, guys. Horizon vibes. Cap Attack is insufferable. I'm glad more YouTubers are calling his annoying ass out. You know what it is? I just think that we need to keep the same energy when it comes to the players in the sport. Just because we don't like LeBron James, and I can say, like, I don't like LeBron, but if I'm criticizing him from a basketball perspective and I'm saying, oh, he goes out there in stat pads, oh, he always needs help, oh, he's always crying about this or that. Some of those things apply to Kevin Durant. Even though I like Kevin Durant as a player better, I still would have to criticize him. I still have to criticize him for going and joining other teams. I can't say, oh, well, I can't stand that LeBron James formed a super team, but I'm okay with Kevin Durant doing it. That's not how it works. You have to keep the same energy. And I don't think that Jokic is a crybaby, but I think his fans are crybabies. And I think the fans surrounding him, it feels like race baiting. It feels like it's like they hate all of the black players that surround him. And I just don't understand it. If we're saying that guys stat pad and we hate that they do that, we have to also point that out for Nikola Jokic. There's been plenty of times that he's still on the floor in a blowout loss. And to me, a triple-double doesn't matter. Your stats don't matter if they didn't lift your team to winning. And that has to count for something, but it only counts when we're talking about LeBron James. Oh, well, LeBron went to the finals, but he didn't win. Okay, we're going to be congratulating a guy like Nikola Jokic for getting to the finals and not winning, or not even getting back to the finals. So we're congratulating him, and he's not even getting back to the finals. I don't think he's going back this year either. He didn't repeat, even though he had he didn't have the same team. So in all fairness, he didn't have the same team. They gave up some rotational pieces that were good, but even still, he still has his core team. He still has 4 of the same starters. So what's the problem? And by the way, Russell Westbrook has been playing well for the Nuggets. He hasn't been a disaster on that team. He's been serviceable. He's even had some game-winning plays. RP Dub, I'm not race baiting. I'm talking about the issues that exist. I'm talking about the content that is there for me to talk about. Okay. And the fact is that Nikola Jokic is treated different from other players in the league. And we criticize his black teammates, but we have no criticism for him. So, and I'm not smashing foreign players. The fact is that they don't have the athleticism and skill. And it's not all foreign players. Giannis Antetokounmpo has a lot of athleticism. He's lacking in skill, but he's got a ton of athleticism. SGA, very skilled, highly athletic, shows up to the NBA in shape, ready to rock and roll. That's why he should be the MVP for this season. He should be the runaway MVP, not guys who show up with a dad bod. So I'm not actually race baiting. And again, if you think that this channel is racist, or you think that we're, race baiting on this channel, then please help yourself to another channel that you think is better for you, that where you're enjoying the content. I wish that for you. I don't want anybody to come to my channel feeling poorly or feeling attacked or feeling like this is not an inclusive space. I'm just calling it like I see it, and these are my opinions based on what I see. So Luka Doncic shows up to the NBA fat with a dad bod, and that does matter. Athleticism matters, and that's why he didn't win the title last season. He had the team to win. He had enough pieces on his team in the Mavericks to win, and he didn't because he could not slide his feet. He got beat constantly on defense, which caused him to get fouled out of the game. So I'm not race baiting by calling these things out. It's not race baiting. It's not smashing foreign players to say, hey, he's not in shape. Nikola Jokic is getting triple doubles in this league, yet he cannot run, he cannot jump, and he cannot dunk the ball. And we're calling him better than Shaq, and we're calling him better than Wilt Chamberlain. That is a problem to me. That's not race baiting. Sorry. But I want to hear from you guys. I have time for 1 or 2 phone calls. Feel free to call in. Talk to me nice. The foreign dollar is way more important than LeBron. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Thank you for calling Sports Tea. Talk to me nice. Who do I have on the line?
Hey, what's going on? This is Jamal.
Hey, Jamal. How's it going?
Yeah, well,
So
try to
what do you
keep
think?
it the volume.
Can you hear me okay?
All right.
So what do you think? Why can't Jokic
Yeah,
fans
sorry,
keep the
can you hear me
same
better now?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly now. So what do you think? Why can't Jokic fans keep the same energy? What's the story there?
Say that again.
Why can't Nikola Jokic fans keep the same energy? What's the story there?
Oh, you would break up a bit, but I'll ask the gist of what you're getting to. In regards to Jokic, I think that I do think that Jokic lately has been getting a lot more grace by the NBA media than he did before. But in all honesty, there's no real competition at his position. So he's strong, and yes, he might not be the most athletic, but then again, how many big men are there in the NBA? I mean, a whole ton of undersized. That's why I don't get this whole bigger, faster, stronger, more skill thing, because I just don't see it. And the centers are small as hell. So between that and the fact that nobody plays defense, I think that's why Joker can be who he is, and he doesn't have to be in good shape, and he can bring the ball to court because he has the best court vision on his team, and he, like I said, there's no competition at the center position. Indeed, is barely serviceable all the time. So he's kind of stands alone. He's like Shaq in the early 2000s.
I actually agree with you. The league has changed, so it's no longer a big man's league. So it's easy for Nikola Jokic to shine as a center in this league, especially when you're playing this point center role. So he's a center, but he's playing like this point guard role. He's gouging points, rebounds, and assists. He turns the ball over at a high volume too at
Mm-hmm.
will. At will, he can come out with like 7 turnovers in a game. And it's because he really doesn't have the ball handling to be that tall at 7 feet, bringing the ball down from 94 feet. I mean, it doesn't make much sense. And then, he's slow. He's slow and he's very non-athletic, but he does have court vision. When you're standing at the top of the key, you should be able to see your teammates. You should be able to find them and pass them the ball. So, I don't, and I want
I
to be
agree.
clear, I don't have such a huge problem with Jokic. I'm just addressing right now what I'm seeing in the media, which is the media congratulating Jokic for all these triple doubles, no matter if he loses or not. There's never any criticism surrounding the losses. And then I'm also just taking a look at the landscape and seeing all these Jokic fans crying that he doesn't have any help and he's got the same players that he won a title with. So I just don't understand. Where's the energy surrounding him stat padding? Where's the energy surrounding him winning with the teammates that he has and, and triumphing over adversity? Like, where is that energy? Why aren't they treating him just like the way that they treat LeBron James and other players that do some of the same things that he does?
Well, I mean, Jokic is able to dominate for the same reason LeBron played for 20 some years, not playing defense in the soft league and not playing 82 games. But on top of that, when it comes to the rest of his teammates, I mean, he does have some decent teammates, but they're very unreliable. I mean, Michael Porter Jr., like I've used him in 2K, and that dude is always hurt. Like, you tap him, he's done. And so Michael Porter Jr. is hurt a lot. And I don't know, Westbrook kind of jagged out in games this year. I mean, He's been decent. He's been better than what he was with the Lakers. But Westbrook is on games. But you're right. He essentially does have the same core. And the West is not any better than it was when he won the title in 2023. The East is a lot better, but the West is no better than what it's probably lower. So Denver definitely should be able to come out the West along with OKC and possibly the Lakers. But as far as Joker is concerned, he's definitely a product of his time. I'm not saying he couldn't play in the league in the 90s, but he couldn't do what he's doing now. And he doesn't have any competition. So.
Well, I think you made some really great points, Jamal. Thank you so much for calling in.
No problem.
All righty. You have a good night. All righty. I do have time for one more call, and then we'll call it a night. If anybody else wants to call in, if not, we'll move. But I'll read some more comments in the meantime. I did see a comment that I wanted to read off from Minima Moyo. The word hate is an overused, often applied by people who are too ignorant to comprehend the difference between dissing and constructive criticism. I couldn't agree more. Great comment. Thank you for calling Sports Tea. Talk to me nice.
Peace, Dom's brother Juma.
Hey, brother Juma. So what do you think? Did you have any thoughts on the first topic and, what the Lakers beating OKC really means? Did you also have some thoughts on, what's going on with Nikola Jokic?
Hold on, my bad. You're kind of blurred. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was wondering, what do you think the story is with Jokic fans? Why can't they keep the same energy? What's the story?
I can barely hear you. What do you ask me? Why Jokic? What now?
I asked why do you think Jokic fans can't keep the same energy? What's the story there?
Oh, I mean, it is what it is. He, Paul Mooney, complexion for the protection. I hate to say it like that, and people want to say that's just a cop out or some type of race baiting. But it is what it is. 6'11". I put in the chat. I think he doesn't even average one block a game. How are you like the center and you don't even average one block a game? He has zero defense. He's an outstanding. He has great eyes. He sees the court. I think I was listening to Man Down, Mel. Shout out to him a couple of days ago, and he always says it like whenever you run, it's easy to get a triple double if you're running everything through one person. And so the rest of the team is debilitated. They can't do anything. They basically have to wait for the clock to run down, or for them to do what they do, dribble all over with the ball, and there's no set plays, like a triangle offense or whatever type of offense we used to run back in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. So I think they just they just want to give him a pass because like Luka, it's the same thing. They are great players. They have great offense. I personally don't think either one of them could have played in any era prior to this one because Dwight Howard proved that by basically being physical with him, when they when the Lakers beat them, when they won the championship, and LeBron let his ego get in the way of Dwight instead of just keeping him there. Because once you put bodies on them and clog the middle and throw some elbows or some knees start hitting their thighs, they can't play. They keep talking about the areas and whatnot, but they just don't. They're just not built to do that. They don't play. No one even plays 70 games a year, let alone 80 to 82. So for load managing and soreness and sprained toes and all just BS. So they're great. He's a great player. Offense is amazing. He has a great shot. He has great eyes. He sees the floor. He has decent. He doesn't have great handles. He has decent handles, but he's a great shooter, and he could see the floor extremely well. He has
He
an
should
amazing
see the
touch.
floor, though. See, that's the thing. It's not the center's position to like see the floor from the top of the key. So, like when people say that, oh, he can see the floor, he should be able to. He's standing at the top of
Yeah,
the key. He should be able to see everybody. So
for sure.
I can't. It's tough for me to give centers credit for playing in a point guard position role when they're not doing what centers should do. Does that make sense? So like when
Oh,
you're
for
not,
sure.
so I understand he's getting points, rebounds, and assists, but he's not getting any blocks. So you're not
Yeah,
defending, you're not protecting the rim, right? You're not defending, but I'm supposed to give you credit for getting the assists that point guard should get. So you mean to tell me that nobody on his team can get those assists? That's the
right.
problem. So I don't hold that in a higher regard than him doing his actual job, because a center is supposed to block shots. That's what a
I
center is
agree.
supposed to do. So if you can't block shots, why am I giving you credit for assists? Why am I giving you credit for rebounds when those rebounds you're getting is not necessarily a result of boxing out or being in the paint? So it's hard
For
for me to
sure.
give credit for the rebounds. It's hard for me to give credit for the assists. The points I can give credit for, but Nikola Jokic has one of the ugliest games that I've ever seen in my entire life. The dribbling down the
Agreed.
court is god awful. Okay. If anybody was playing a modicum of defense, he would be stripped. Okay.
Yeah,
So when you have athletic players on the court that can defend, he would be stripped every time. I can't imagine him playing against Kobe Bryant and Jokic being the primary ball handler coming down the court.
no way. It
That's
would
not going to happen. I'm sorry.
not.
I can't
He's
imagine
getting
him
stripped at
playing
half
against
court.
Allen Iverson and him being the primary ball handler coming down the court. That's just not that. And again, when you have a situation like that, guess what kind of teams are able to exploit that and win the game? The Warriors. You think the
Yep.
Warriors with Jimmy Butler are going to allow for that to happen? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I definitely
Draymond
agree.
Green probably said in the locker room, like, hey, we're really going to let this guy that can't run, jump, or dunk the ball beat us? I don't think so. So again, these things are, I just don't understand why the fans can't keep the same energy. Forget what Jokic is able to do. Forget his dad bod. Forget what he actually does on the court. Why can't the fans keep the same energy? Why do they not see why are they calling him better than Wilt Chamberlain, better than Shaquille O'Neal? That sounds crazy to me.
It definitely is crazy. And I hate everyone always says delusion, but it is, and I hate that. I mean, the only reason I would have for it is the complexion for the protection. I mean, because they even say, I can't imagine, he's definitely not going against Elijah Wan or Robinson, Patrick Ewing. Like I was saying earlier, he couldn't handle Dwight Howard being physical with him. And for a 6'11" guy, like I was saying, I led with to have less than one block a game. And I definitely agree with you saying that he has to be able to master his own position before he starts trying to venture out into
what
other
I'm saying.
positions.
I'm not giving you credit for doing my job when you're not doing your
Yeah.
job. Does that make
Do your
sense? It's just like, that person that, have you ever worked with anybody like that? Those people at
I
your job
have
that they can't do their job, but they're constantly in everybody else's
trying to
business,
do mine.
trying to do somebody
Yep.
else's job, trying to point out what you're not doing, but they just can't figure out how to become an expert in their role. Like, hey, why don't you perfect this? Why don't you go over there and get that workload complete? Why don't you get it done 100% and then come and try to get the extra credit? Don't try to get extra credit when you're not doing your job, your current job.
Right.
You can't, if you didn't do your regular homework, how can you get extra points? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Do the job description before you start trying to do someone else's job.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna lie though. I'm nervous. I wasn't sure what was going on. I knew LeBron was behind the Luka stuff and the NBA and see what's going on now. And
I still don't know that Luka was behind it. I understand that. That LeBron was behind it. I know that the Morris brothers came out saying that LeBron requested him in the trade. I don't think that LeBron had plans for Luka. That's my point. Did he find out? I think he found out in the midst of the trade, but again, that wasn't something that he orchestrated, and that's, I think, the main point that people are missing. So, like, of course, LeBron knew that Luka was coming to the team, but it's a matter of at what point, when did he know? How much of a deciding factor was LeBron in this trade? And I just don't think he had any decision in it. I think he's rolling with it. I think he's deciding that this benefits him and doesn't hurt him. He's decided at the end of the day, okay, well, maybe I can try to manufacture another title.
Ride the wave.
Or maybe at the very least, I can decide, okay, well, Luke is the first option and I'm going to be the hero as the second option and make him look bad. Either way, LeBron wins out of this. He's going to figure out how to spin the media, oh, well, LeBron James was a second option on this team, but he still balled out. He was still this at 40 years old. He blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So there's always, no matter what, I believe that he's able to find the win in this situation. And, that's what he's been able to do.
Right. I'll be quick, but there's one angle I had on that was that when he was in Cleveland and Carmelo they had that stacked New York team with Smith and Shumpert, and then they did that trade. And then for him to get those players when they were doing well in his own conference, I kind of feel like it's the same thing when you look at Luka and Kyrie, and then they had all those big guys out there, Lively, and they had a really good team. If they just mastered defense, get Luka to get in shape, they could have went back and repeated in the championship. And it just seems like LeBron, that's just another way for him to make sure that one of his boys won't be able to. I think he sabotaged Kyrie. Like he did not want to see him get, further than him or get another championship.
I don't think he did. I think the Mavs actually won the trade. I don't think Luka Doncic is a prize to be won the way that other people think. I think the Mavericks traded him because they were not going to win with him, even though the refs were cheating for them. So the refs in the NBA have been cheating for Luka Doncic and they still can't win. So with that being said, it's pathetic. I mean, literally the NBA pushed them into the finals and they could not win.
Hopefully, we'll see.
He's out of shape. I
he looks bad.
Don't think that. I think the LeBron does a lot of things, but I don't know that he's purposely saying, "Oh, well, I want to make sure that my friend, my buddy Kyrie can't do something." I don't think it's that. I think that he's just willing to orchestrate and manufacture titles and success for himself at the expense of anybody. I don't think he's thinking about Kyrie or any particular person. I don't think he's thinking, oh, well, I want to hurt Carmelo Anthony by pulling people from his team. No, he thought that those players were going to benefit him. Those players were willing to go to his team, or they were able to make a trade. The NBA was going to rip those players in order to make LeBron successful. And it doesn't matter who is a casualty. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know that it's targeted to a Kyrie Irving, or I don't know that it's like, oh, well, I just really don't think that he was behind this Mavericks trade. I really don't think he was behind it.
I just could have put it past him. I mean, I know it looks like he's on his way out.
I can't put anything past him. It's just Luka Doncic's pairing with LeBron James doesn't benefit him.
Right.
So to me, it's not a benefit to LeBron James. He has to carry Luka, and that's what we've been seeing. LeBron James at 40 years old is better than Luka Doncic. He's more athletic. Scary. He can run the floor. He can dunk the ball. Have we even seen Luka Doncic dunk this season? Has he dunked the ball this season? I don't know. I don't remember. So I'm genuinely asking because I don't remember. I don't remember seeing it.
So those are the questions: Luka dunking and Jokic blocking.
I know it. I know exactly. Look, Luka's dunking donuts. He's not dunking any basketballs, but he sure is dunking those donuts. He's throwing down some donuts. Dad bod, donut,
Dunkin' Donut, Doncic.
Donut Doncic. I mean, he is throwing down those donuts. So,
man, we loving you, Dom. Keep it 100, sister.
Well,
yeah, real talk
so
on the complexion for the protection. We ain't taking nobody trying to get in you and talk about all this stuff about race bait and all that. Some people have a hard time dealing with reality,
when
and
it's
some people don't know.
when it's
Yeah.
about race, we can say it's about race. When it's not about
Real
race,
talk.
we don't have to talk about it. But
Exactly.
sometimes it just is about race. And the fact is
Yeah.
that this league is, it's the majority of the players are black, right? And the majority of the owners
Exactly.
are white. And so when you have a
Right.
situation like that, and they're not just white, so they're of a certain background, and all of that plays into the dynamics of this league, how it's going to be run, and a variety of other factors. So
Right.
thank you so much for your call, Brother
You're
Juma. I
welcome.
really appreciate you, and I hope that you
We
have a wonderful
appreciate you,
night.
and I just want to give you two give the shout out to Team Sports T. We really do appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Salute to all the moderators. You guys hold me down
Yes,
night in and night out. I really appreciate you guys. Salute to everybody who's in the chat watching as well. Thanks, Brother Juma.
indeed.
Have a good
My
night.
pleasure.
Okay?
You have a good night.
All righty.
Peace.
Bye-bye. Well. It's about that time. It looks like we have another super chat from Sports Facts. Imagine old defensive rules. Jokic against Samson and Elijah. I can't imagine that. Honestly, Jokic would drown in 90. And look, honestly, I don't actually think he would drown. And the reason why is because he puts his back to the basket. So Jokic is actually one of the players that I think could survive. I just don't think that he would be uh, on Shaq's level. I don't think he's on any of these players' level now. So it's a joke to me that people really believe that guys today would dominate in any past generation or era of basketball. Complete joke. Looks like we have one more caller. Oh, they hung up. Sorry if I missed you. I guess I will get to you guys on the next show. But I really do appreciate you guys joining me. Oh, looks like they're calling back. Thank you for calling Sports Tea. Talk to me nice. Thank you for calling Sports
Hello.
Tea. Hi, this is Sports Tea.
Hi, Dominique.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Who do I have on the line?
You're awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Okay, let me put my YouTube on mute.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. May I-
I sent several texts. I don't know how you would read the text because they're very long.
You can text me anytime.
Okay, I would text at this number
Yeah, you can
because
text
I have
this
some
phone
proof
number.
that LeBron was lying about some things, actual proof,
You can call
with some
me. You
links
can
attached. I
text
want you
me.
to bring it up on the show.
Oh, for sure. Any facts that you have, any content that you'd love for me to share or to talk about, I can certainly
Mhm.
research it and mention it on the show. So you go ahead and send it over to me.
Okay, I can send it over to this phone.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying? This
Yes.
number right now?
This number that you're
Okay.
calling on, you can text it over to me.
Yeah, because he's been having the media lie for him about why he didn't go to Wade's Hall of Fame,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
we all know it's because he wasn't the honoree, and it wasn't about him. There's actual proof out there with the link that he had time to go see Drake to arrange a concert for him and his son to get introduced in between the time of his August 14th Hall of Fame induction.
It's an absolute disgrace.
And this was days after his son got out of the hospital on July 27th. The proof is there. He
Yeah.
went to Canada to see Drake.
Yeah, time for that.
And I have the links with the proof. So all of those lies they've been telling for him, saying, oh, it's because his son had the incident with his heart. No, he wasn't going to be the honoree. He wasn't going to be the one that was all about him. He's probably mad because Wade didn't ask him to speak for him. Why would he? He's uneducated. I think he chose Iverson over him. He's jealous of everyone. He's a narcissist. The sad thing is that he is Trump's brother from another mother. They're two peas in a pod. Look at the way he carried himself throughout his career. And if anybody says anything negative about him, just like Trump, If everybody don't fall in line, he embarrasses them and tells them to get lost. And that's exactly what he's doing. And he's ruined the NBA, and it's a sad product.
Oh,
It's a sad product.
I couldn't agree
And the
with you more.
NBA should have had Stephen Curry as the face of the league, but I think it's because Kobe Bryant really messed up in 2003.
Yeah.
I think they would have put him as the actual face of the NBA because the fans were calling for it. Before he messed up, and this is when LeBron came in there with all that hype in 2003. Though they took several years before they actually made him the face of the NBA, it would have been Kobe Bryant.
You are so on point. I couldn't agree with you more.
No, I used to coach basketball. I played basketball, but back then we didn't have the WNBA. Or I would have tried a little harder. You know,
Imagine if,
anybody would have tried hard to actually try to make it.
well, I hope to
They
hear
didn't
from
have
you
that back
more.
in my day. I'm 61. I just turned 61 2 days ago.
Well, I would love to
And
hear
by the
from
way,
you
my
more.
name is Sabrina Kelly.
Well, it is
So
so nice
I'm
to hear
going to
from you,
send the link
Sabrina.
to you right now as I hang up the phone.
I would love that, Sabrina. You reach out to me anytime. Please call in more. We need more women calling into the show and giving their sports take. I love to hear from former coaches and folks that played basketball and who really love the game. I played basketball too, and I love this sport so much. And it is a shame how the NBA has been completely ruined by LeBron James.
I miss the days of Michael Jordan when we used to drop everything because we didn't have social media.
Right.
We had to go watch the game.
Yeah. I miss
We didn't get to
watching
see clips
players
like
that
YouTube
loved
clips
the game.
where people don't even watch the game. They just watch the clips on YouTube after the game's over. You know, they just show all the good stuff and forget about all the bad stuff in between.
Absolutely.
I'm sick of LeBron. I wish he'd just go away. Let's see if he's going to mess up this situation for Carmelo Anthony.
I know.
Because you know he wants to buy the team, the Wizard team.
Yep.
And I believe the NBA will allow him because he's backed by Michael Jordan in this situation. And the other day he was telling too much about what he wants to do with his if he's able to buy the franchise. LeBron's going to try to steal it. Of course, we all know that.
That I do agree with. I agree. I can't imagine. I mean,
And
LeBron
you
is
know,
just so jealous. He wants to own something in the
he's
league
so
so
jealous
bad.
of everyone because he's a failure.
It's true, and there's only room for him. He wants to be the only one. He wants to be the only
And
sports
we
hero
all
in the
knew
room.
that. We all knew that Anthony Davis was going to be sacrificed when he indicated that LeBron took 7 years longer than Jordan to break Jordan's record. And then he didn't look happy when he broke Kareem's record either. They losing. Why would he want to look happy about that?
Right.
It was just a matter of time when he was going to get rid of him, and I believe he knew about it because there's no way he didn't know about it because he's a clutch sports client. And these NBA players are so stupid and naive. They all they worry about is money. They don't care about their job. None of them.
Wow.
There's not too many of them that actually care about their job. Jenny Buss, she's a sad individual. Her father's rolling over his grave. She's all about money, but she's destroying his legacy.
Destroyed.
The Lakers are a joke, and I blame it all on Magic Johnson. He brought that bum over here because she wasn't looking at him. He wasn't on her radar. They should just pay him his rest of his contract and tell him to go away. Take his son with him.
That's a fact. Sabrina, you cooked. You cooked. You didn't
I
leave
think he
anything
paid
on
all
the
those.
table.
He found a way to intimidate all those young boys in the G League to let his son shine. But his son's still a bum.
Bum.
He can't play against these men. He's too scared.
Absolutely. I agree with you. He's Carlton Banks. You know,
Once
he's wearing a costume.
Once he started flopping, then his name should not be in the same sentence with any of the greats. And that one he did the other night was despicable. Really despicable. I was laughing because the players went down on the other end of the court and came back, and Stephen Curry and Draymond Green came back and they just walked over him. Or someone showing the photograph when he was skinny before he went to Miami, before he got on the balcony.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing how that whole place got burnt down after his name came up in the wash. And he should not be a Hall of Famer at all. They should excommunicate him just like they did Barry Bonds. But he's hanging around because the NBA, they're protecting him because he's still a money cow. But I'm with you. They're truly sick of him, but he's a money cow. And all of that he did to get his son in the NBA, that's a failure too. That's a failure as well. Oh, I see all the right pictures up on the screen. That's why he has that beard. That was the way Way's giveaway when it's got that puffiness on his cheekbone. But he's a disgrace. And his wife, I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. I was feeling bad for her, but I don't feel bad for her. So she stayed with him knowing that he's a narcissist. And I believe she stayed with him being grateful that, she had 2 children before he finally decided that he was married material. Because he didn't have nobody to praise him. I think that's why he stayed with her in the first place. A narcissist always needs somebody to be their yes person, to make them feel good. I bet you he probably made his kid's life miserable. He should have let his son just go on and be a gamer and leave him alone. And neither one of his other son they're not going to let him pull that nonsense with Bryce. Get him into the NBA with no talent. They're not going to allow that again. I doubt he's not going to be able to recycle that one. And his wife not letting his son go to college, she ought to be ashamed of her damn self. And like you said, they don't have the 12 years of education between the 4 of them anyway.
It's true. The entire James family, they have less than 12 months of college
that's
education.
What you said. Exactly what you said. And I'm sorry, I talk too much.
Sabrina, you are
that
welcome
is my
to
actual
call
character flaw.
Well, I want to say that you're welcome to call in anytime, Sabrina. I would love to have you call in more often. You absolutely cooked on this call, and I really appreciate you. And yeah, we're going to end the stream on this note. This was a fantastic call. I really appreciate you calling in, and you made some really great points, great commentary, great takes, and the audience loves you. They are in the comments saying how much they love you and they appreciate you and how much you cooked on this call. So please don't hesitate to call us back and, share your thoughts. We love to hear from different callers and different perspectives. So, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And I'm going to look forward and I'm going to check for those text messages with different links about some topics that you had for me. Okay. Are you there, Sabrina?
And I said one earlier, I think less than an hour ago, it says, please, Dominique, please put this on air in capital letters. The links are actually attached.
Okay, well, I'm going to text you so that you...
I don't really want to send it again, but if you need me to, I really want you to expose him on your channel. I could have sent it to 2 raw, angry hoops, but I want to give that information to a sister.
Thank you so much.
I binge watch because I'm retired, and I can't wait for your show. I'm glad I have the notification that when I'm watching my show, while I'm binge watching, it pops up and then I tune you on.
Well, I am so glad to hear from you, Sabrina. We're going to head out now, but thank you so much for calling, and please call me back and talk to me nice anytime.
I will.
Okay?
Have a beautiful evening.
You too.
A beautiful morning.
You as well, and thanks for
Peace
calling
and love
in.
always.
Yes, absolutely. Bless you. Oh, she was just such a breath of fresh air. Thank you for your kind words, Sabrina, and for your call. It looks like we have some other super chats that rolled through. I'm going to go ahead and read them off. Sports Facts, salute to you for the $4.99 super chat. David Robinson scored 71 in a tougher era. He breaks Wilt's record in this 4-out era with Jokic guarding him. MJ scores 250. I love that energy. Salute to you again. Sports Facts with a $4.99 super chat. Take away travel and carrying, add defense and hand checking, and the all-time stat list and top 75 will have players disappear like the Rapture. I couldn't agree more. I mean, the way that players are able to carry the ball. I mean, I've said it a million times. Giannis gets to carry the ball over his head into the paint. He gets to take 10 steps into the paint. I've literally seen him traveling from half court. And don't get me started on the hand check. Can you imagine somebody having an arm? Imagine somebody having an arm on your back, able to guide you from 94 feet. I'd love to see LeBron James or just anybody go ahead and score. I'd love to see how the pick and roll works in that kind of defense. But, you know, this is just so much more skilled, so much more advanced, so much more evolved, right? So much more complicated and intricate. Yeah, my ass. Anyway, guys, let me check on these likes and let's see where we're at. Are you guys liking the video? We have 83 likes. We have 84 people watching. Wow. We have almost 100% attendance and likes. And I really appreciate that. You guys looked out, showed out. Really appreciate you. Sabrina does rock, Crystal. You're absolutely right about that. And thank you all for watching. Seriously, I love staying up late with you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow. I might jump right back on before work because there are some things that I want to talk to you about. I have some timeless content that I am going to push out this week that's going to be, I think, really, really fun. So I'm going to go over just some classic interviews, and we're going to tie some things back to today's league and how we're just going to be debunking. We're going to be exposing some more lies. And I look forward to doing that this week with you guys. And as you know, the Lakers are going to play the Thunder again. And so I really am curious to see if the Thunder will win that second game. You know, are they going to let the Lakers come out and go off like that again from 3? I don't think the Lakers will be able to do that. So I am really excited for this game. I want to see if OKC is going to be able to beat them. I want to see if they're going to be able to beat them off twos and mid-range shots. I want to see the Lakers. Are they going to be able to repeat their perimeter success? Doubt it. But looking forward to the next game, and I should be back. I might be back this morning, but I'll definitely be back tonight. So everybody have a wonderful day and get some rest if it's late night, and have a wonderful day at work if it's the morning for you guys. Thank you for watching in Guam and the Philippines and Australia and Qatar. Really appreciate you guys watching from all over. Have a wonderful, wonderful day and happy Tuesday. Alrighty. Bye-bye.